Hi, all you beautiful people out there, and thank you for watching my channel. I have a rainy day going on outside, so I'm relaxing inside, and I decided that I would spend this part of the day talking with you guys and, just chop it up a little bit. In this video, I'm gonna talk about solutions. Like a couple of videos back, I talked about a huge world issue that I feel is a really big world issue that's in our blind spot that could possibly end up being like the next extinction. And when I say extinction, I don't mean like in this lifetime, maybe a few lifetimes later. But if it's a few lifetimes later, that means it's already affecting us to a high degree right now. And what I'm talking about mostly is electromagnetic pollution and just being in bad energy fields. Now, I feel that a human being at performing at their highest peak, best level is something really amazing to behold. And I feel that we are nowhere near that. And I aspire to find out at least some of the secrets, some of these possibilities. I really want to know about them in my lifetime. So, I'm really passionate about learning and finding out, possibilities in regards to this type of thing being the ideal or the perfect person. And, that's subjective. It's up to you on what you deem to be that. But just basically make everything better, make myself better, help other people make themselves better, and learn from other people how, share ideas. So in this video, I'm going to talk about solutions to, this problem, what I think is a big world issue that's in our blind spot. And I'm going to talk about how to protect your energy. And I'm basically going to show off some of my tools that I have. I'm using jewelry, accessories, and devices that I've been playing with this year in 2022 for the past few months, and testing them out to see how they affect my day-to-day health and well-being, my energy levels, my sleep, and everything. Now I'm going to go through, talk about 7 or 8 different things. I'm going to give you some background information about what they are, what they do, based on what the information that's given about them. And I'm going to talk about my own personal experience with using these things. And of course, I'll give you my point of view on them and my belief on them. Now, this is just my point of view, so it's just, one person. It's just, how I see it. So a lot of what I'm going to say is not going to be exact. And, keep that in mind. Do your own research on this and do not take any of this for fact. But I'm going to be as honest as possible, and I'm going to explain, my experience with these things and my interpretation of what the information that's presented to me means. So let's get started with the video. The first thing that I want to talk about is there's a mineral called Shungite, and Shungite is it's a crystal. It's crystal carbon. I think it's like a crystal carbon. And I experimented with Shungite. And if you look here, I have this is a Shungite necklace. And this is probably the least effective of the things I'm going to show you. But I'll share with you my experience about this. When I first got this, I didn't have really high expectations of the possibilities of what Shungite can do. Now, Shungite, it's supposed to, they use it to clean water. It's supposed to protect the body from bad energy. It's supposed to protect the body from electromagnetic fields, chemical pollution, different things. There's a lot of research about what Shungite can do and how great it is. And I do not do Shungite any justice in this very short description that I just gave you about it. But and also, with Shungite, there's different grades, different levels. I do not know what grade this is. Like the first grade of Shungite is like 90% or more, and it's supposed to be a lot more effective than lower grades. So, in my experience with Shungite, I started wearing it almost 3 months ago for the first time, and the very first time I wore it, I remember I had worn it all day, and I came home, and I sat in this chair. The day was pretty much finished, and I was about to go to bed. I was just kind of winding down, and I felt like my door was locked, so I felt like someone was in my apartment with me, and it wasn't scary or weird or anything like that. It was just like an odd feeling that a presence that was in the room with me. So I got a little bit paranoid, and I actually got up and just kind of looked around a little bit, and of course I didn't find anything. But from that day forward, I never got that sensation again. It was only that one time thing. So I don't really know what that meant, and I'm not trying to say or imply that anything was going on as far as something weird being in my place, something on a spirit level being in my place. But that was the feeling I got and the impression that I got during that time. But it never happened again. Now, with the benefits and sensation that I got from Shungite, I would say it negligible, not that much, nothing that I could truly feel. And maybe part of that reason is maybe I don't have any problems that needs to be fixed within my body, or maybe this is not a very high quality Shungite, or also I'm doing a lot of other things too, so maybe those things are masking the effect of the Shungite. Now, one reason why I bought this, it was just kind of for a vain reason. Like I like to do things that are just unique to me, or I'm not big into fashion or that type of thing, but I do like to be different and not really stand out, but just so I feel that I have my uniqueness, if that makes any sense. And I like pearls, so I saw this, and it looks like pearls, but they're black, and it just resonated with me, and I got it, and I just think it's cool to have. At least in my mind, I feel that I'm protected when I wear this necklace. And like I said, this is probably the least effective of everything that I'm going to talk about. The next accessory that I wear sometimes that I feel is pretty effective in helping you protect your energy is copper, like a copper bracelet. And sometimes I wear and I experiment with copper bracelets. This is a copper bracelet with magnets on the inside. This is the inside, and it has magnets aligned in it. This is supposed to be pure copper. Now, I'll give you a little background information about copper and how copper affects the body and why it's good for the body. And it's going to be a short description. Again, this won't do copper justice, like copper jewelry and like the benefits of it. But for the body, copper is a really important trace mineral for the body. And there's two really important things that it's responsible for, that it's like the master, it's the master mineral that controls a bunch of other different processes in the body, and two processes that it controls, or it governs, or you really need it in order to kick those processes on forward. One is the production of melanin. The whole process and production of melanin, and if you don't know, melanin in your eyes, your skin color, your brain, all through your body, really important and mysterious thing that it does a lot of different things. Like it transforms energy, it takes light and transforms light, it transforms information. You have it in your ears, it takes the vibrations of sound and transfers it into a message for you so that you can hear. It's in your eyes, it's especially in the back of your eyeball, that protect you from too much light, and also takes that light, turns it into electric signal. It's really, melanin is really a super thing. And the start of melanin, or one of the things very responsible for melanin, is copper. And when you wear a copper bracelet, you have the ability to absorb copper into your body, like on a as needed basis. Like some people, especially if you're up in age, it becomes more difficult for your body to extract copper from the food that you eat. And or some people may just have some like genetic limitations that prevent them from getting copper through the food that they eat. Now, when you wear the jewelry, the copper can be leached through your skin. Like what you may notice when you wear a copper bracelet is that it turns your skin green. Like it'll get sweaty. It gets sweaty under the copper. It turns your skin green. And it is said that when your skin turns green, the copper has been, your sweat is acidic, and it leaches the copper from the bracelet, and it's in a form where the body can absorb it well. And again, it's on an as needed basis. The more your body needs, the more your body will leach from it, the more it will create that acid and sweat and leach the copper from the copper bracelet. So that's one way it benefits you and helps you. And another thing, and it's another thing regarded to energy that copper does, is it governs your red blood cells' ability to carry oxygen. And like a lot of people think they have like an iron issue, like when their their energy gets low, they're fatigued, they're very fatigued. But if you have a copper deficiency, then you'll automatically likely have an iron issue, or using iron to transport the oxygen with your red blood cells. So copper is it's a master element for that reason too. So two things involving energy, two really key things, and copper is responsible for those things, and copper is very underrated. Now that's just copper. Now I also mentioned that this is magnetic. There's magnets in this, and magnetism is something that the body needs, and we don't get enough magnetism in our body, especially in today's world when there's so much energy in our environments, like electricity, all different energies all along the wavelength that we're absorbing all the time, and we're around because we're surrounded by technology and power grids. It limits magnetism. Now, electricity and magnetism are pretty much the same thing in different forms. They coexist together. And we're usually when people are affected by artificial electromagnetic fields in a power grid, usually that magnetic field it's pulsing, it's going positive, negative, and it's pulsing really, really fast, and it's interacting with your body's magnetic field. Your body has its own magnetic field because we are, to a degree, electric beings. And because we are electric beings, we have our own magnetic fields. And the magnetic fields throughout our bodies control how everything works and make sure everything works right. A lot of even getting an injury. When you get an injury, it's the electric potentials of that energy spot is what directs the healing process. And, it's all about electric signals and magnetism, magnetic energy. So when you're inside of your power grid or in some artificial power system, and they're like moving around and especially, pulsing, weird magnetic fields that are really unnatural to the body, it interferes with your body's own situation that governs it and keeps it doing the things that it's supposed to do. And I say all that to say that magnetism is really mysterious. And I say mysterious because there's not much known about it. And if there is a lot known about it, it's not public knowledge, really. But in the future, I want to dedicate a video purely to talking about magnetism and the Earth's magnetic field. Some things that are really hard to find out anywhere you look, whether you search for books, you search through social media, YouTube, or any other platform where you search for information and try to learn things. It's hard to find some really just low down and dirty information about magnetism, even though I feel that I feel that in the future, once how magnetism works and how, that information all comes together, I feel that what we're doing now, as far as medically and how we treat ourselves, is going to just look really barbaric. I feel that magnetism is way ahead of its time, and maybe we're focusing on the wrong thing. I made a video a few videos back talking about the beginnings of electricity and how electricity, we became just fixated on using electricity to heal everything. It was this new thing, so everyone just clung to it and focused on it. But no one's focusing on and talking about magnetism, even though magnetism has tremendous potential. And I'm not just saying it from my own opinion. If you start looking through journals and looking through the research, you find that magnetism can do some major healing. Now, with using the magnetic bracelet, and I'll try to sum this up. I don't want to go too deep into this. I've kind of gone too far already. Magnetism works best on the body if you put a negative magnetic field onto your body. If you're injured, or if you just want to have some extra treatment, or just extra safeguard for your body, you want to use the negative side of the magnet. The makers of this thing, they have this is the inside of the bracelet, and this is the positive side. The negative side is here. So they actually made it wrong, which I think they either didn't know what they were doing, they didn't do their research, or I don't know what went wrong. But right away I used a compass to check it and find out, which polarity it was, and I realized, I learned that the negative side is on the outside, and the negative side has benefits too. But in general, you want to just focus on the negative side, because the negative side is the side that the negative meaning the North Pole seeking side is the part that basically organizes everything. It organizes and it slows down everything. And in general, that's what you want. Now, the other side does the opposite of that. Sometimes you need to speed things up and you need to kickstart things, but in general, you don't want to speed things up and kickstart things. So that's the end of my rant about magnetism. So I guess how I would rate this, or how great I think this is, I think is quite useful. You feel the difference after wearing it. You feel like the difference, like a couple of hours after wearing it. You know that you've done something, and you feel a little bit better, and you also feel the difference long term after weeks of wearing it. And also with the magnetism, I'm going on a magnetism rant here. With the magnetism, I just did an experiment. It's gonna go on for like a year. I'm still in the middle of it, and it was about my magnetic bed, where I got the strongest magnets I could find, and I made a bed. It's a negative magnetic field going through my body every night, and I documented like the benefits I got and my trials and tribulations with that. Feel free to check that video out. But it's still I still have about four more months left before I come to my full conclusion of concluding that video and telling what I think, and sharing when I think it's most effective, when I think it's not most effective, and just basically give you a breakdown about the effects I got from that. And like, I made that video because like I've been looking for something like this myself and just couldn't find it. So I said, why don't I just do this myself? I couldn't be the only one thinking like this. So that's the copper and magnetic bracelet. So pretty useful. Oh yeah, another thing about that, the copper bracelet, the colder the weather is outside, the more beneficial this is, because it increases your blood flow. And I was wearing these on my ankle and on my wrist because I was having like limited blood flow when the weather was really cold out, and the effect was very noticeable, and you know that you're getting help from it. So enough about that. The next thing I want to talk about is on my bed. I have a bed cover on my bed. So it's not actually a bed cover. It's an electromagnetic field shielding lining. And I have it's stapled to my bed cover. And the reason why I have it stapled is because I don't want it permanently put onto my bed cover. But what it does is when I sleep, it blocks pretty much all or most of the electromagnetic fields, non-native electromagnetic fields, the radio frequencies, all the stuff that you get from communication technology. It blocks all of that. And under this bed, I have magnets. I did the magnetic bed video, and I was just talking about it earlier. So my bed is pretty much fully blocked from a lot of the harmful electromagnetic fields, and a lot of this is experimental, and this was I think it was pretty effective at doing the job that I hope that it would do. My sleep has definitely pretty good, but that's hard to attribute purely to this electromagnetic field shielding fabric because I'm doing a lot of other things too that I have yet to talk about thus far in this video. And again, I stapled it to my bedspread, and it's very thin. It's very thin, as you can see. If I take all of this off, I can ball it up in my hand like this. So it's very thin fabric, and if I were to go somewhere else, I could take this with me. So I thought this was a pretty good experiment. It was a great idea, and I think I've gotten quite a lot of benefits from it. But it's only been a few months, and I'm yet to fully understand and know how great of an idea or bad of an idea this actually was. Another thing that I use sometimes while I go to sleep, I just showed you my electromagnetic field shielding fabric, and I bought this. It's basically a hat that I wear on my head, as I sleep. And what's special about this is that it has electromagnetic field shielding fabric, and the frequencies that it blocks a huge part of the spectrum that we typically encounter day to day. And my experience with wearing this, I remember when I first started using the electromagnetic field shielding fabric to sleep. I remember it kind of blocked and slowed my dreams down. I didn't dream as much for like the first 2 days when I slept under the electromagnetic shielding fabric. And same thing with this. When I wore this, probably for about 3 days, my dreams cut off. Well, I definitely didn't remember them for those 3 days. But after those 3 days, my dreams kind of resumed the pace that they were resuming. And for the past 3 months, I've been doing all of this energy blocking stuff. So my dreams have been really powerful this year. And I feel that you experiencing and dreaming a lot is really important. I feel that it tells you that you're really tapped in. And when you're not dreaming, I think it tells you that you're not really tapped in. And when you can really see your dreams like movies, and of course if they're dreams that aren't terrifying or anything crazy like that, but if you have like a healthy constant dream life, I feel that this is a really beautiful thing. And I mentioned that it kind of blocked the dreams, it seemed. So I'm kind of wondering, what that means. So I don't know if this is good or not. But my sleep has been excellent. I cannot complain about it. But I cannot attribute my sleep being excellent to just the electromagnetic field shielding fabric and this electromagnetic shield fielding hat that goes on my head, this fabric. So I don't know which is which because I'm doing so many other things. Now the next thing, let me show you one other thing. Where is it? Yeah. So I'm kind of going nuts. I sometimes when I go out, I wear hats like this. If you look back on my door, there's another hat that's like this. It's just something that I wear. I like to keep it simple. And this is not a regular hat. This also has electromagnetic shielding fabric on the inside. And do I feel different, or do I feel like I'm protected? I don't know. Maybe, I do feel like I have like a little edge, like the government can't read my thoughts, or, I get some type of protection like that. I don't know. But I just thought it was cool, and I bought it. And, since I wear hats like this anyway, I figured I'd just, put something extra in it. It just seemed like something that I like, that, it's like up my alley. And the next thing that I'll share with you is this. Do you know what this is? This is a Q-Link. You see the company Q-Link. And basically with these things, you wear them around your neck. And the companies, the thing about, these things is that, the companies, they don't explain them well at all. They give you some very vague description, and they say it protects you through resonance. And if you look at this, it's basically a copper coil. And like I put a lot of thought into like, okay, how can, like, trying to reverse engineer this in my mind and try to figure out like how it works, because I like to know how things work and not just, use things and not know how they work, because that could be dangerous too. Just using, even if something works well and you use it, you don't know how it works, that it's not that great either. So I like to kind of know what I'm doing. And with this, they claim that it taps into frequencies that support the body, and that kind of makes sense, but it's still really vague. Since I can't really explain this and tell you what it does, and also like if you it's supposed to block you, it's supposed to protect you from electromagnetic fields. And I have a device here. This device, this is a really simple device, and it tells you the electric. It's a real simple device. It tells you about the electric and the magnetic fields in your environment, in your home. I think everyone should have at least like one of these or something like this in their home to know how much electromagnetic fields and electropollution load is in their environment. And this is another version of the same thing that I just showed you. And they also tell you about how much electromagnetic field and energy that may be coming from the outside. Let's say from a telegram pole or an electrical pole. You can know that too. And in some cases, there's nothing you can do. You just have to move from where you are. And if you're in that type of situation anyway, you probably feel just stressed out all the time anyway. You probably want to move anyway. So, if that's the case, follow your instincts. Don't just take that L when you don't have to take that L. And my experience with this. So my experience with the Q-Link, I've only used it for a couple of days. I actually just got it in the mail like a week ago. And